This is troubling to all of us. I've met with several organizations and community influencers over the last couple of days. I'll be meeting with some more this evening, some more later on this week. But we are all looking for ways to be able to address this gun violence, and that's what we have. We have far too many guns that are available, and far too many guns that have been in the hands of juveniles. So if you are a parent and you believe that your juvenile's got a gun at home, call the Racine Police Department. We'll come and get your gun. We need everybody to be engaged in this. If you hear shots fired, you need to call us so we know to respond. Any information that you have is very, very valuable to us, because you don't know what investigation that we have that you might be able to help with unknowingly.
So I want to first express a deep sadness to the victims of gun violence. 6 homicides already this year. That is deeply troubling for the entire city, but obviously deeply, deeply traumatic for the family and friends left behind, left to deal with the loss and the trauma that comes with it. This cannot stand as the new normal for the city of Racine. Gun violence cannot be tolerated in the city of Racine. We have to support the Racine Police Department and its efforts to keep the community safe. Just to echo what the chief just said, please call the Racine Police Department if you have any information on the recent shootings or violence. Please call us if you have a firearm you want to get off the street. As the chief just said, the Racine Police Department will come and get it from you. If you need a gun lock, one will be provided free of charge to you. Please call 911 if you see a situation developing or witness an event. Keep yourself safe and call 911. Posting on social media is fine, but it is not a substitute for calling the police or dispatch. We need everybody's help to address these situations. We are a very close-knit community. We're a community of 80,000 people. I doubt there's anybody here that doesn't know somebody who's been directly impacted, or at least knows somebody who knows somebody who's been directly impacted by this gun violence. This affects all of us deeply, and we have to address this gun violence. It is important that we not become numb to it. This cannot stand or be the new normal. We have to stay motivated and unified to work together to end this violence. It is only together that we will be stronger and safer as a community. As mayor and on behalf of the city, we are committed to engaging all community partners to address the violence we have seen in the last few months. We need to build stronger partnerships and programs. We need to develop interventions and get the community to engage around those interventions. That means all of us. That means the city. That means different levels of government. That means nonprofits. That means churches. That means all of us. As mayor, I need to learn and hear more from the community about what interventions they think work best. But we have a number of efforts that we've had ongoing for years that we need to build on. But we don't claim to have all the answers today, and I certainly know there's not a magic pill that will solve all these problems overnight. But I know that we are deeply committed as a community to making sure that we have a safe community, that we have a strong community that works together to end this gun violence.
These are ping-ponging interactions. One person harms another person, and that harm escalates to someone else being harmed. So it's critical. With my background being a social worker, I know that trauma creates more trauma if it's not healthily addressed. And I know we have service providers throughout the county, throughout the city that provide mental health care. If you or someone you love has experienced trauma to any degree through violence, it needs to be addressed. Because if it isn't addressed, can become you from becoming a victim to becoming a victimizer. And that's what we're seeing in so many of these instances. This escalating rage that happens between people, because it's relational violence. This isn't random acts. It's things that are escalating when people aren't healthily addressing the anger that they feel, the trauma that they've experienced. And unless we're dealing with some of those root causes, law enforcement is going to do their job. They're going to investigate, they're going to find who commits harm to others, and they're going to hold them accountable. But they can't provide therapy when people are hurting. They can't provide treatment when people are broken. We need to be doing that for each other as a community. We need to be reaching out and recognizing when each of us is hurting and intervening at that time. Recognizing when our children are hurting and intervening at that time instead of letting them drift away and ultimately becoming a harm to themselves or others. So our response to public safety, our response to the violence can't just be a law enforcement thing. Public safety is not just the realm of law enforcement, it is the realm of all of us. It's the realm of the residents, it's the realm of our neighbors, it's the realm of our loved ones. So, I certainly implore our community as we, please ask that you do cooperate with law enforcement when these instances occur. But also, when something's escalating, don't just pick up a cell phone to record it. Pick up a cell phone to call for help or step in and try and de-escalate that. Because you recording someone harming someone and then putting on social media only fuels the rage for that person who may have been harmed to respond in a worse way. We can't continue to do that. We can't continue to hurt each other in that way, and we have to do better as a community. So that's my call to action for our community, and I certainly, will demand, as from a city's perspective, that we will do everything we can to provide resources, to bring forth resources, to coordinate with experts in this realm, whether it's human services or law enforcement, to identify solutions and then engage the community with what those solutions may be, as well as asking what those solutions might be from their perspective, because those closest to the problem are the ones closest to the solution. So we want to be engaged with our community in addressing the violence that we see. Today is, if not better late than never, but today is certainly a first step in doing that and addressing that. We recognize the issues.
I've pretty much been doing this for the last 25 years here with youth gang diversion programs, youth programs in our city. We love our kids, we love our youth, and we love our families. This is a moment in time that we have to stick together. We're calling on the community, we're calling on volunteers, we're calling on the nonprofits. There are initiatives that we have in place right now that are within the county that we're doing. Voices of Black Mothers United. We have the Credible Messengers program. We also have a summer youth job, and so does the city of Racine, to get our kids an opportunity to work during the summer. So there are initiatives in place. Should it be more initiatives? Probably so. And they have committed, the mayor and the president, talking about getting additional resources to hear from those nonprofits and working with everybody in this community to bring this community back together. The city is hurting, and hurting really, really bad. And I think this is an opportunity that we all come together to show that we love each other and that we can be a peaceful community. I've been here probably the last 20, 25 years, and I've only seen Racine like this probably like 15 years ago. And this could not be the Racine that I moved to. We're looking for answers. We're looking for people to come and join hands. It's easy to point fingers of who's at fault and who's to blame, but I think with us coming together and holding each other accountable and helping this community and the families that are hurting would be the best solution for the city of Racine.
A lot of people in town who know Yogi and her family and her efforts. She was on the mayor's police reform task force last year or 2 years ago. She's been an active pillar of not just Uptown but the entire community. Our hearts ache for her and her whole family. I mean, it's just really, words can't express the loss that she's feeling. But again, we are a close-knit community. People know each other in this town. I can't imagine how she's feeling and grieving losing her husband. We're all devastated for her.
We are being judicious and vigilant, as we always are. There's no strategy for random violence. There's no strategy for senseless violence. Nobody has a plan for that. But what we can all do is encourage people to seek mental health, to let people know when someone that they know is in mental health crisis. Or let them know if someone that they know has a gun that shouldn't have a gun. Everybody has to be involved.